At first, this girl looks like a mid-noble lady, hella rich. Then her fiance publicly dumps her. She doesn't cry. Nah, she would win. The series starts in a room full of jerks. It's a ball, and amongst all these annoying noblemen is a girl, Scarlet. All eyes seem to be on Scarlet and Prince Kyle, whose face, I must say, looks rather punchable. Kyle is the main reason for the attention and ruckus. He is engaged to Scarlet, but he has chosen to announce that he is terminating their engagement to pursue a relationship with another girl, Terraneza. The crowd is clearly in favor of the new couple, showering them with compliments and applause. Kyle proudly claims that Terraneza is far better than Scarlet, whom he belittles as emotionless, dull, and stupid. He expresses that he dreads the 17 years he spent as her fiancé. In response, Scarlet maintains a stoic demeanor and reminds Kyle that their engagement was arranged by both royal families before they were even born. She asserts that Kyle can't simply decide to end it on his own. Prince Kyle is confident he can, with his reason being that Scarlet has done a lot of terrible things. According to Terraneza, Scarlet bullied her at their academy, but Scarlet insists she had never met Terraneza until this very day. It is evident that no one believes her, as the prince goes on to list various accusations he believes Scarlet committed against Terraneza, the type of dramatic actions you'd see in Korean high school dramas. Accepting their judgment and realizing they already view her as a villainess, Scarlet decides there is no reason to hold back any longer. She speaks up and makes one final request. Kyle is hesitant to grant this request, but Terraneza persuades him to allow it, as this is Scarlet's last request. Terraneza is putting in a great effort to appear as a benevolent princess. When Kyle gives Scarlet the go-ahead, she politely asks to put Terraneza to sleep. Of course, she doesn't wait for a go-ahead as she takes a satisfying stance, ready to throw a One-Punch Man level punch.
I don't always fart, but when I do.
That punch is packed with so much rage, and here's why. Right from childhood, Scarlet has always loved beating up others. Although she only beat up bad kids, she was enjoying this way too much. Her older brother Leo has always tried his best, wanting her to be more reserved and ladylike. Considering they were hosting a ball, Scarlet tried to behave in her best manner. This is where she met Kyle, who immediately exerted his dominance, treating Scarlet like a slave. He was basically bullying her, and when Scarlet tried reporting to her father, it was clear he couldn't do anything about this, as Kyle is the prince, and her engagement to him was arranged by the royal family. A couple of years later, Scarlet turned 15 and was now attending a school for nobles. Despite her great reputation, grades, and good looks, Kyle and his lackeys still treated her like garbage. By this time, Scarlet was already so used to his behavior that she became unfazed by this. Emotionless. No one, Scarlet's friends included, could defy Kyle no matter what he did, considering he's the prince. Until one particular school day when Bro got salty because he was probably jealous of Scarlet's good grades. Being the evil dude that he is, he attempted to cut off her nice silver hair, but Scarlet wasn't having it. She first threatened to report him, which would terminate their engagement, and when this didn't work, Scarlet was just about to let loose. She clenched her fist, ready to throw hands, but just then, Kyle's elder brother, Prince Julius, intervened. Unlike Kyle, Julius is a gentleman. He apologized for his brother's actions and made Kyle, who was whining like a 7-year-old, leave. He pretty much saved Kyle's life, as that wicked punch Scarlet was cooking up would have turned Bro into a vegetable.
When I catch you, Ricky! Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky! Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky!
After Kyle left, Scarlet thanked Prince Julius for his help, but it's clear that he understands how dire the situation could have become. He was just trying not to lose a brother. Curious, Scarlet asked Julius why he was out there in the first place, and he explained that he needed a quiet spot to study. His classroom is too noisy due to his peers constantly surrounding him, given the fact that he's a prince. In the kingdom of Palestine, there are two princes. Julius, the just and disciplined prince, faces opposition from many who fear he may pose a threat to their corrupt activities, given his intolerance for wrongdoing. As a result, they rally behind Kyle, the foolish and irresponsible prince, believing he should ascend to the throne. Essentially, the kingdom is divided into factions, those who support Kyle and those who support Julius. Julius is being really slick. It's almost as if he's trying to steal his brother's girl. Probably not, right? He considers Scarlet interesting, and for a brief second she would have had an expression. From that day, Julius had always been around. When the aptitude test results came in for the first time, Scarlet wasn't the top scorer. She was shocked and pissed that Prince Julius had comfortably bagged the position, and this clearly seemed like a challenge. Scarlet locked in, trained, and studied like never before until she reclaimed her spot at the top. He casually congratulated her with a tap on the head, and this gave her friends the impression that they were close, although Scarlet tried to debunk it. It brings up the argument that he probably let her pass him so she could be happy. Considering the rumors are already going around, Scarlet made a resolve to never engage in any of Julius's provocations. Scarlet ignored any form of small talk from Julius, but this dude just keeps appearing everywhere. After this went on for a while, Scarlet outrightly asked Julius why he keeps popping up everywhere, and it's clearly not a coincidence as he claims. It seems very purposeful. Kyle. Julius, remaining lighthearted as ever, keeps getting cracked up as Scarlett's expressions are amusing to him. Even though her face barely changes, he swore he's learned to read her like a book. According to him, every thought she has shows right there on her face. Naturally, that annoyed Scarlett to no end. As they walked, Julius asked about Kyle, and Scarlett mentioned she hadn't spoken to or come across him lately. Just then, it hits her. Maybe Julius has been hanging around just to keep Kyle away. Whatever flashed through her mind must have been obvious, because Julius immediately comments on it. He complimented her hair, saying he wouldn't have forgiven himself if his brother's stupidity had caused her to lose it. Julius admits that Scarlett is the most interesting, and while this is really getting to her, he completes his sentence that she's the most interesting animal of all his specimens. Of course, being referred to as an animal did hit Scarlett hard. Julius played it off and even joked that Scarlett should get engaged to him instead, ensuring her a better treatment than his brother. Yeah, she declined. That said, everything she's bottled up from back then till now is about to explode right here in this fancy ballroom. Scarlett throws the first punch at Terraneza, a punch so powerful it makes All Might's 100% look like a warm-up. She heads over to the nobles, ready to deliver the long-awaited beatdown. Basically, everyone who's ever wronged her is about to catch these hands. The terrified noblemen call for guards, but Scarlett just puts them to sleep with her magic. Yeah, magic is a thing in this kingdom. Now it's just her and her victims. The nobles start begging for mercy, but Scarlett's on a roll, calmly dishing out punches like she's passing out snacks. With a boost from her magic, she accelerates, zipping around the room and hitting everyone in sight. She's like Santa, but instead of gifts, it's KOs for everyone. Soon enough, every noble is down cold, and for the grand finale, Prince Kyle, the once alpha male, now looks like a scared extra in a one-on-one against Homelander. Like Mike Tyson with a wig, Scarlett readies her knuckles, takes aim, and lands a clean, satisfying punch. By the time Leo and Prince Julius burst in, it's all over. Having unleashed all that rage, Scarlett finally smiles, lighter, freer, and oh so satisfied. All the noblemen look like they just finished fist-fighting Ippo, with Scarlett standing over them. While Prince Julius finds this amusing, Leo is petrified. After taking notice of them, Scarlett respectfully greets the prince. Prince Julius says they came because they saw some noblemen fleeing and is curious as to why Scarlett had to go all John Wick on them. Leo just wants to know if she had enough reason for this, and Scarlett explains that they committed wrongdoings and didn't show any form of remorse. She was forced to make punching bags out of them. Prince Julius gets the main point, finding it really funny as Scarlett points out blankly that they pissed her off and she had to beat them up. Prince Julius mentions that since he met Scarlett, he had been wondering when the day would come that she would finally unleash her rage. Poor nobleman got years worth of ass whooping in one evening. Leo is still freaking out. He fears their family's reputation would be tarnished and wonders how their parents would react. Just then, as Prince Julius tries to assure Leo that everything is fine, Scarlett's sight gets blurry and she passes out. Gaining consciousness, Scarlett hears the bells of the Church of Krona, the god of time. She feels this is because she overused her powers. She opens her eyes to see a maid hovering over her with a knife. The maid is startled to see her awake and quickly tries to stab her. It seems like an organized hit, but Scarlett punches the maid away like and into the wall with ease. Having heard the ruckus, Leo hurries in. He is stressed out finding out Scarlett just got another victim. Apparently, she has been unconscious for days, and now, a few minutes after gaining consciousness, she just delivered a KO. Besides this, Leo was truly worried about her. The doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong and he feared she might not wake up again. Scarlett apologizes for being so reckless, but when Leo tries to make her promise she won't hit anyone anymore, she bluntly refuses. How would she even agree to that? It's like trying to convince Goku not to fight anymore.
Ain't gonna happen.
Prince Julius walks into the room with his usual composure. After seeing how Scarlett is doing, they sit and discuss. The royal family has finalized the termination of her engagement with Prince Kyle. Scarlett's family has approved this too. As punishment for the troubles he has caused, Kyle would be disinherited. Honestly, Scarlett's punch is a more serious punishment. Prince Julius mentions that there have been rumors of illegal slave trade in Prince Kyle's faction. They have to curb this. Scarlett asks if she's going to be punished, and Prince Julius assures her she won't. The royal family considers her indispensable. Prince Julius mentions that she will have to remain single until the domestic issues are settled, but on the bright side, the news of the beatdown she delivered has spread around. She's like a legend, although they totally exaggerate her tales. Once again, Leo gets worked up as Scarlett has been given a new grim nickname. Prince Julius reveals that there will be a lot of replacements, as the people involved in the illegal acts are important people. Their main target is a nobleman named Godwin, and Julius mentions how important it is that they deal with him. Leo says the king and Prince Julius suspect there's someone pulling the strings, someone behind everything, and they formed a plan to shut everything down and serve justice at once. An organization, the Crown Investigatory Office, was formed to carry this out, with Leo being the head. Scarlett inquires if the reason Leo has seemed troubled of late is because he has been rolling with the prince, and Prince Julius points out that Leo is this way most likely because of the trouble she has started. It's actually the combination of them both. Poor Leo. Prince Julius goes ahead ahead to introduce the dude who snitched on Godwin. He mentions that their organization deployed an agent to go undercover and do undercover stuff.
What do you mean by that?
The door opens, and Sigurd, who was formerly Kyle's lackey back then, walks in. Yup, he's the agent. Sigurd immediately starts apologizing for his actions in the past. He clearly resents them. Scarlet doesn't quickly let it slide as your regular anime MC, and Prince Julius gives her the go-ahead to do whatever she wants, to Sigurd, to make up for everything. As expected, Scarlet clenches her fist, ready to beat the daylights out of Sigurd. But just before making the hit, she stops. Sigurd, who was prepared for the worst, looks like he was almost executed and is grateful to Scarlet for showing him mercy and not making him look like Mark at the end of every major fight in Invincible. Scarlet mentions that he also helped her out a few times back then. It's all square now. Scarlet takes her leave, knowing her friends are worried about what happened at the ball. She's relieved to have beaten those dudes up back at the ball, which has led to her freedom to spend proper time with her friends. However, she's shocked that the Prime Minister is involved in shady dealings and suspects he sent the maid who tried to harm her. She gets shown to where the maid is. After she gets in, she finds the maid's clothes on the floor. There's an animal there instead, and it tries to attack Scarlet. Scarlet figures the maid had shapeshifted and points out she only wants to talk. However, she says the maid should assume human form if fighting is the better option. Humans are generally more punchable. The maid shapeshifts back to her original form and is just a boy. Bro immediately picks up his knife like he forgot how last time went. Scarlet notices the boy's slave crest, which means he must obey his master's commands. She offers to remove it in exchange for information about who sent him. In this world, gods grant blessings that give extraordinary abilities, though many live unaware of their favor. Scarlet's blessing is time-based, which she used back at the ball. She rewinds time till the crest disappears and frees the boy. She was favored by the god of time, Krona, which is why the royal family wants to keep her around. Scarlet mentions that it has limitations, and that using her powers excessively would tire her out, which is why she passed out at the ball. She'd die if she did too much. The kid is surprised by Scarlet's powers, but she tells him not to snitch, threatening to punish him if he does. Any sane person who has received a direct blow from her would never snitch. That aside, as promised, the boy pays his own part of the deal. The one who sent him after Scarlet is Godwin. It turns out Godwin's son was one of the unfortunate dudes to taste her fists at the ball, and Godwin won't let it slide. Although he wants Scarlet dead, that wasn't his main reason for sending the kid. He wanted the boy to spy on Scarlet's house. The boy reveals that Godwin is really crafty. He sent a bunch of spies into different noble houses, found some dirt and leverage on them, and used it to force them into his slavery business. Scarlet, please hit this Godwin dude at any point in the story. Having heard this, Scarlet makes up her mind to beat up Godwin. Yes, she leaves in earnest, but the boy advises against this, pointing out that Godwin has guards and stuff. So, more people to beat up. He says Scarlet should stand down and allow Leo and Prince Julius to handle this, but Scarlet finds that boring. She has made it an obligation to beat Godwin to a pulp before he gets arrested. Like, he's going to be begging for the authorities to come for him ASAP. The boy wonders why Scarlet is too obsessed with beating one up, and she replies that she beats up anyone who annoys her. According to her, it's the ladylike thing to do. There's barely any lady like her. The boy mentions that Godwin attends a slave auction once a month. The next one is coming up in a week, and he volunteers to help her get in contact with a slave trader, as he doesn't know where the auction will be held. He asks Scarlet to take him along. Scarlet points out that this would mean him betraying his former boss, but considering all that Godwin did to him, he owes him no loyalty. Scarlet originally wanted to go alone, but has now changed her mind. She asks the boy, Nanika, to come along with her, and of course Prince Julius was listening the whole time. Scarlet and Nanika venture out in search of the slave trader, a middleman. Not being so street smart, Scarlet had gotten scammed into buying a rock in hopes that it was some special stone. On their way, Prince Julius joins them. Scarlet questions why Prince Julius is with them instead of working on exposing Godwin. He explains he wants to experience life in his kingdom before being confined to the palace after graduation, where he'll learn to be a king. Julius expresses his desire to be more than a figurehead and aims to create a perfect kingdom. He wants to join Scarlet and Nanika in exploring the kingdom's dark underbelly, just to avoid missing any amusing moments. As they discuss, a group of hoodlums pull up. This looks like Christmas morning to Scarlet.
Yes, my turn, assholes.
But Nanika wants her to hit the brakes while he tries to talk things out with the hoodlums. He tries asking them about the middleman, but none of them seems reasonable. They give the regular bully-type replies and even mock Scarlet for getting scammed. This does it for Scarlet, who is so pissed she crushes the rock in her palm. The hoodlums make a move, but she throws the particles of the broken rock at them, distracting them and giving herself a head start. She accelerates herself and serves a serious beatdown to the hoodlums. She's moving like a female version of Muhammad Ali, making these hoodlums wish they were goodlums. Bad joke. The last hoodlum begs for mercy, but Scarlet just wants to treat him with the same energy he treats others who are helpless. Bro is so afraid of getting hit that he snitches, mentioning the location of the middleman they were searching for. Good, but he still caught a neat right hook. Even after this, Prince Julius can tell Scarlet still hungers for more fisticuffs just from her blank facial expression. Prince Julius asks to be the one to speak to the middleman. He has a different approach than violence. Scarlet and Nanika wait for him the whole time, and after a while, Prince Julius comes out with all the information they need. There was no ruckus, meaning he didn't use any form of violence. He simply threatened the middleman with a lie. All that is left now is wonders how they're going to infiltrate the auction, and Nanaka has a plan. Scarlet, accompanied by Nanaka, meets with a slave trader named Lord Zatharin, pretending to be in need of a slave. Lord Zatharin oversees the slave auctions and explains that he has a contract with the middleman, Junk, to bring him potential valuable slaves found in the slums. By valuable, he means elves, dwarves, abians, demons, and beastkins. He recognizes Nanaka as a beastkin and refers to him as a prized piece, which annoys Scarlet, and she's about to lose her cool. However, Nanaka urges her to stay calm. Lord Zatharin, unaware of what he just escaped, finally stops laughing and asks what kind of slave Scarlet is looking for. Scarlet expresses her interest in attending the auction. Lord Zatharin contemplates her request and explains that she would need to undergo a review to qualify for the auction. This requires her to reveal her status and complete at least 6 slave transactions, which basically means it would take about 6 months for her to be eligible. Scarlet insists she will pay whatever it takes, but Lord Zatharin refuses her money. Instead, he wants Nanaka. He proposes that if she hands over Nanaka, he could take her to the auction as the daughter of a distant relative. Scarlet gladly accepts his offer. After concluding their meeting, Scarlet and Nanaka consider their plan a success. Lord Zatharin did exactly as Nanaka predicted. Nanaka says he's surprised that Scarlet was able to handle the situation without violence, and Scarlet playfully teases him back. The auction is scheduled for 3 nights later. Scarlet asks if Nanaka is sure about being enslaved again for the time being, reminding him that she cannot guarantee his safety. Nanaka reassures her that he will be fine. He thinks Lord Zatharin will likely put him up for auction, so he won't let anyone harm him before then. He also explains that it's his contribution to their mission, and as a way to make up for his previous attempt on Scarlet's life. Meester feeling tired, Nanaka begins to slow down. Since beastskin are nocturnal, he's naturally sleepy during the day. He finally falls asleep, turning into his beast form. Scarlet carries him back to the inn where they are staying. Inside, she meets Julius, who seems to have been waiting to tease her. He immediately brings up how she managed to resolve the situation without resorting to violence, and wishes he could have witnessed such a rare sight. Scarlet ignores him and lays Nanaka on the bed before heading out. When Julius asks where she's going, she replies that she's going out for some fresh air. He claims he was just hoping to step outside as well. They walk along the street with Julius trailing behind. When Scarlet questions how long he plans to follow her, he responds that he's just heading that way too. A merchant calls Scarlet's attention marketing his apple pie, but she shows no interest. Julius, however, buys 2 pies. They continue down the street encountering various merchants. Julius ends up buying everything he's offered and is now walking beside Scarlet. Scarlet asks if he still has business in the area, to which Julius admits he made that up. He tells her she's quite innocent for believing it. Scarlet punches an innocent wall to relieve her anger, but as she turns to leave, Julius unexpectedly shoves an apple pie into her mouth. The taste instantly transports her to paradise. Julius apologizes for going a bit overboard, but Scarlet refuses to forgive him that easily. Then he offers her his apple pie, and just like that, she forgives him. Take notes, boys. They take a break on a roadside bench. Scarlet observes that Julius appears to be familiar with the city. He confesses to sneaking out of school to explore. When he asks Scarlet about her thoughts on the merchant's quarter, she replies that she was always in a rush to deliver whatever Kyle sent her and never had time to look around. Now, she finds it quite enjoyable. Julius is pleased to hear this and mentions that every time he had apple pie, he thought about how much he wanted her to try it. Scarlet realizes that Julius must have wanted to show her the merchant's quarter all along and wishes he had said so up front. Then she wouldn't have been so harsh. Julius casually says that he dislikes being bored. As a child, only twisted and ugly things caught his interest, and he found himself constantly bored by the fools around him who always tried to kiss up to him. Then he saw Scarlet. He watched Kyle bully her, and after Kyle left, Julius approached her, suggesting that she could report to the king if Kyle was frightening her. Scarlet smirked at the idea of being scared by Kyle and called it a very funny joke. At that moment, he realized she was different. Julius says that he finds most things boring, and he wishes for the small corner of the world he occupies to be filled with things that truly interest him. Right now, the most interesting thing to him is Scarlet. He leans in and kisses her cheek, leaving her shocked. Julius clarifies that his feelings aren't the same as traditional romantic love, but she is dear to him more than anything else in the world. When Scarlet returns to her room, she seems disturbed by what Julius did. She wonders if it was just another way for him to tease her. The next day, Scarlet comes back with Nanaka to hand him over to Zatharin as agreed. Zatharin wants to confirm that Nanaka is truly a beastkin. He explains that a wicked person might dress their slave as a rare breed to sell them at a higher price. Scarlet doesn't mind this and asks Nanaka to shift into his beast form. He complies, leaving Zatharin amazed. Suddenly, a buff half-human enters the room. He is Donovan, Zatharin's lycanthrope slave bodyguard. He mistakenly assumes that Scarlet is the slave, but Zatharin quickly corrects him. Donovan finally notices Nanaka. Zatharin warns him to be cautious in how he handles the boy, but Donovan has no plans of adhering to that. He says beastkin are known for their quick regeneration. Without hesitation, he cuffs Nanaka and pulls on it, causing the boy pain. When Nanaka remains stubborn, Donovan takes out a whip, but Scarlet grabs it before he can use it. She remarks that Zatharin's pet needs a little more discipline and offers to administer punishment herself if Zatharin finds it too foolish to learn. Donovan is offended by this and threatens to deal with Scarlet. Zatharin proudly warns her not to provoke his beast, as Donovan is a former A-rank adventurer. Donovan says that it's too late for warnings and vows to take care of Scarlet. 6 Chaceration of Wep, but it doesn't budge. He continues to pull until Zatharin tells him to stop joking around, but bro's not joking. 6 Tralet then politely asks Zatharin if Donovan will also be put up for auction. Zatharin replies that Donovan is actually a trainer for the other slaves and also his personal bodyguard, so no, he won't be up for auction. Excited to know she can do what she pleases, Scarlet uses the whip to fling Donovan and punches him, sending him straight to the stratosphere. My guy thought he was him. He found out. Finally feeling satisfied, she helps Nanaka out of the collar and heals his wounds. Then she hugs him and promises to come back for him. She asks Zatharin about how much she owes for the broken window, but Zatharin says she doesn't have to pay. Instead, he thanks her for helping him discipline Donovan. He now takes her seriously. No after Scarlet leaves, she finds a familiar carriage and Leonardo steps out of it. He had been searching for her all over the city until Julius snitched. At the palace, Leo becomes upset upon learning about the plan. He thinks it's reckless and refuses to allow them to proceed. Julius asks what Leo discovered from his investigation, and Leo produces a pile of papers filled mostly with shallow information. Scarlet informs him that the auction is just 2 nights away, which causes him to panic and start formulating a plan. Meanwhile, Scarlet and Julius exchange glances. Julius finally speaks up, saying he doesn't have any apple pie if that's what she wants. However, he offers to send a servant for it. Scarlet is offended that he thinks she's a foodie. Leonardo wants to begin planning for the auction and asks Scarlet to go home, but she declines without hesitation. Leo is frustrated by his stubborn sister. He asks if her refusal is because she wants to hit Godwin, and Scarlet replies that since the night her engagement was broken, she has stopped holding back. She says she has always wondered why it seems the world is designed to make good-hearted individuals suffer while the wicked prosper and can't be punished by normal means. As a result, she concluded that self-serving greedy nobles are the most satisfying to punch. While Leo becomes more frustrated, Julius finds it amusing. Leo gets angry at Julius for supporting Scarlet. He thinks it might have been acceptable when she was a child, but now, if she fights her way through the noble classes, it will ruin their family's reputation. He believes Godwin is connected to Vanquish. The Vanquish Empire is a neighboring territory governed by dragon riders. There have been attempts at peace talks, but no progress has been made. Leo explains that he suspects the Vanquish Aerial Corps and the Red Sky Dragoons have been in contact with Godwin. Meanwhile, Godwin has heard about Scarlet and how her actions at the ball disrupted their plans. He hires someone to deal with her. Later, someone presents him with a gun as a gift from Goddess Palmia. Godwin is initially unsure what it is, but after being shown what it does, man's impressed. Terraneza is quite excited about the gun and urges Godwin to use it mercilessly against anyone who stands in his way. Scarlet arrives at the venue where the slave auction is set to take place. As she steps out of her carriage, she thanks Zatharin once again for granting her this opportunity, and Bro cheerfully responds, handing her a mask to wear. If only he knew what our girl was cooking up. Scarlet collects the mask and happily wishes both of them luck in making favorable purchases, while thinking to herself that this will be the last time. She follows Zatharin gracefully as he discusses matters with the security at the entrance, securing their entry. While waiting, Scarlet recalls the plan she made with Julius and Leo to get about 10 CIO agents into the auction. Knowing that the agents will have to surrender their weapons inside the auction venue, they decide to send those who are skilled in combat and can use magic. However, they realize that even with that, they may struggle to arrest Godwin, so all their hopes rest on Scarlet since she can body everyone even without weapons. As the doors open, Scarlet is greeted by a view of nobles enjoying themselves and chattering as they wait for the auction to begin. Meanwhile, a guard informs Leo that the palace knights are in place. Leo tells him that as soon as Julius gives the signal, they will head in. He hopes that Scarlet will hold on to her word that she gave during their strategy meeting. At first, Leo was skeptical about letting Scarlet be a part of their plan, but after Julius convinced him, he made her promise to avoid any unnecessary fights. Despite this, Leo has a sick feeling in his stomach because he knows Scarlet well enough to doubt that she won't get into a fight. This makes him wish he had called off the entire operation. On the other hand, Scarlet observes the other nobles with anger as they discuss which slave they want to buy. Suddenly, the lights go out, and in the darkness, she bumps into someone who immediately apologizes. The voice sounds familiar, but she can't quite place it. When the stage lights come on, the auction begins. Exciting music starts to play, and the nobles are hyped up, too hyped up that one guy even snitches on himself that he plans to use taxpayer money for his purchases, while another woman wonders aloud if she has enough money to buy who she wants. The first slave is introduced, a rare one-winged avian, and the bidding begins. Scarlet watches everything unfold from above with her fists clenched. Just then, Julius appears beside her. When she questions why he is there, he says he came to check on her. He then asks if she has seen Godwin, to which Scarlet replies that she hasn't, but she has some ideas about where he might be. As they head to search for Godwin, Julius suggests they act quickly, as the palace knights are waiting for his signal. If they wait too long, they risk losing their target. Scarlet then asks Julius to tell the knights to hold off a while longer, as she has a score to settle with Godwin. Julius agrees after all. The main reason he joined the undercover team was to see Scarlet punch Godwin, whom he refers to as a fool. However, he asks for something in return. Scarlet decides to swear her loyalty to the crown and the kingdom for the rest of her life. Julius takes her face in his hands and insists she swear it to him, not the crown. Scarlet reminds him that he is the crown prince and that her loyalty would come naturally, but Julius still insists. Since Scarlet cannot handle the Riz, she rephrases her sentence and swears her loyalty to him. Meanwhile, the bidding continues, and Scarlet points out that Godwin is upstairs overseeing the auction, so they both leave the auction room to head for him. In the prison rooms where the slaves are kept, a little elf is begging for her mother not to be taken away, but a guard pushes her away violently. The girl is about to run after her mother when Nanika stops her and tells her to stay put. She sees other slaves praying to be saved. When she begins to lose hope, Nanaka hugs her, reassuring her that both she and her mother will be safe, sincerely hoping that Scarlet can save them. In the meantime, the guards are all knocked out thanks to Scarlet's fist. Julius compliments her, but she reminds him that he scored higher than her on their magic exams, which he finds amusing that she has yet to get over it. As they take the next turn, they encounter some rough-looking men, and Scarlet prepares to throw hands, taking off her gloves. Meanwhile, in the auction room, the speaker announces a break, and classical music starts playing. This also serves as the perfect soundtrack for Scarlet as she hands the men their butt. Within minutes, she takes out all of them and gains access to the room where Godwin is. The men there are surprised to see her, especially when she removes her mask and they all recognize her. Heine, in particular, is more upset since he has already tasted her fist once before, and with that, you think he should know better, but Bro decides to try his luck and summons lightning from above to strike down his enemy. As the spell begins to activate, Julius intervenes with his royal seal ring, which cancels the magic. Godwin and the other men realize that the ring capable of canceling any magic in the kingdom is exclusively possessed by the royal family, meaning that the golden-haired dude in front of them must be the crown prince. They all understand that if this is true, they're all cooked. As a coping mechanism, they choose to laugh it off and stay in denial, insisting that Julius is an imposter. Godwin then signals for Donovan to be brought in, and Scarlet immediately recognizes him. Is Bro changing his appearance every other day? Godwin orders Donovan to take out Scarlet and the imposter prince, but immediately he attacks, he is cut by Sigurd, who is quick to swing into action. Julius tells Sigurd that he is late, as he was starting to wonder where his royal guard was. Sigurd reminds Julius that it was Julius who lost him so he can go off on his own. Scarlet recognizes this as the voice of the person who bumped into her earlier and mentions it to him. Godwin, however, is uninterested in their reunion and commands everyone to attack. Sigurd tells Scarlet and Julius to run, that he can handle it. Scarlet draws him down by his shirt and tells him to handle only Donovan, as the rest are her meat sack and not meant for him. Sigurd immediately agrees. Bro is not trying to catch those hands. As the next music begins, Scarlet is having a really great time flinging a noble around by his leg. The other nobles are speechless, and she keeps increasing her speed, causing those nearby to levitate.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
She is a walking human tornado, and if the butterfly effect were a person, it'd be Sis. One noble unexpectedly flies out into the main hall, surprising the others. Eventually, Leo decides to check in and see what is wrong, having not received any signals. He walks in on the unruly sight of Scarlet stretching with a pile of defeated nobles behind her like garbage. Leo begins scolding her, and Scarlet is like, "It's not that deep, bro." He also sees Sigurd still battling Donovan down in the auction room. Julius enters to inform them that they can no longer hold back the knights, but Scarlet asks him to wait because she hasn't taken out Godwin yet. Julius seems worried and asks Leo to go after Godwin, but Scarlet won't have it since that was not their earlier agreement. Julius tells her not to worry, as he will make sure that she gets to end Godwin herself. Leo, hearing them, does not like the sound of that, and Julius has to inform him that he has exchanged vows with Scarlet, so he must honor his word to her. Leo is shocked and asks Scarlet to confirm if it's really true. Scarlet confirms it, and Leo immediately starts to cry. He is relieved that Scarlet has found love again when he thought she would never experience that type of happiness again. Scarlet is relieved that her brother is happy, and Julius just comments on how clueless they both are before he releases the signal to inform the knights. Feeling excited that his sister will marry again, Leo decides to pursue Godwin using his clairvoyance magic. He sees Godwin and Heine making their way to the roof and sees a dragon approaching. This confirms that Godwin is really working with the Redsky Dragoons. The trio begins their journey to the roof. When they reach the first staircase, Leo comments that even their fastest men wouldn't be able to catch Godwin in time. While he is still talking, Scarlet takes off her shoes and says she will give it her all. She tells Leo to look after Nanaka and the other slaves. With that, she activates her acceleration magic and sprints toward the roof. This magic is the blessing of Corona, which speeds up time around her, allowing her to move faster than a normal human. In no time, Scarlet reaches the roof and spots Godwin and Heine. Even though the triple speed takes a toll on her body, she cannot let her prey escape. By the time they both reach the dragon, Heine starts cursing at Allflame, the Prince of Vanquish, saying he should show men of high status like them more respect and orders him to get down from the dragon and meet them on the ground. Allflame calls them human garbage and asks his dragon Rex to end them. As Rex swings his tail, Scarlet steps in and stops it, stepping on Heine in the process. I think Bro is gone.
Oh no. Anyway.
This causes Allflame to come down from the dragon. He is surprised and impressed at how Scarlet stopped Rex's tail and immediately proposes marriage to her, shocking Godwin and even Rex. However, Scarlet doesn't play that way and hits him away. Rex tries to attack her, and she easily puts the beast to sleep. Allflame gets up, even more astonished that not only did Scarlet push him away effortlessly, but she also defeated Rex. He falls even harder for her and asks her to accept his proposal again. Scarlet calls him delusional and punches him away, but he keeps getting back up. With each time Alflame gets back up, he rizzes her even better than the last. Scarlet eventually recognizes him and he tells her that he is there to end Godwin. Godwin starts yelling at Alflame, calling him a brat for using him to gain information and then cutting him off. He reminds Alflame that he promised to make him a minister in Vanquish, but Alflame responds that he already sold out one country and he can't trust him with another. With that, Alflame throws his spear at Godwin, but Scarlet intervenes, kicking it into pieces. As Scarlet exposes her legs during the process, Alflame seizes the opportunity to grab it, and holding on to her, he starts rizzing her again. Scarlet notices that Alflame has a high level of endurance. He informs her that he received the blessing of metallization from the god of steel, Meteor, which gives him an invulnerable body that can withstand any physical attack. He also observes that Scarlet has a blessing but warns her that she cannot defeat him with mere fists. He lets her go, telling her to step back and allow him to deal with Godwin. However, Scarlet has an idea, a way to defeat Alflame. She locks her hand behind his head, and Bro thinks they have chemistry until his face connects with her knee. Scarlet keeps hitting him again and again and again. When she finally stops, Alflame is in pretty bad shape. He tries to play it off, but he starts getting dizzy. Scarlet had suspected that his head was not made of steel like his body, which is why she kept hitting it. Even with his concussion, Alflame tells Scarlet that this kingdom is not worthy of her and urges her to come with him. Instead, she picks him up, and with her acceleration magic, she sends him back to his country. No plane ticket needed. Now that all distractions are gone, Scarlet focuses on Godwin, who immediately begins to snitch. He apologizes for using Terraneza to break her engagement to Kyle. Scarlet realizes that he was responsible for her humiliation at the ball, making matters worse for himself. Seeing that he is in a deep mess, Godwin tells her that he can be useful to her and shares valuable information, revealing that Terraneza is not from their world but was isekai'd there by a powerful goddess.